A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In an unprecedented act of protest, Greenpeace activists have stolen a wax figure of French President Emmanuel Macron from the Grevin Museum in Paris. The incident occurred on June 2nd, when three activists disguised as museum staff successfully removed the 35,000-pound figure from its display. The waxwork, which has often been criticized for its lack of resemblance to the president, was then transported to the Russian embassy, where it was used as a prop in a demonstration against France's ongoing trade relations with Russia amidst the war in Ukraine. The activists covered the wax figure with a blanket and managed to exit the museum through an emergency exit, showcasing their determination and planning. Footage released by Greenpeace shows the figure being placed in front of the Russian embassy, accompanied by signs urging the French government to cease gas and fertilizer imports from Moscow. Jean-François Julliard, the head of Greenpeace France, stated, "France is playing a double game." Macron embodies this. He supports Ukraine but encourages French firms to continue trading with Russia. This sentiment reflects the frustration of many who believe that France's economic ties with Russia undermine its political stance against the invasion of Ukraine. The wax figure of Macron was created in 2018, but even museum staff have admitted that it does not accurately depict the president. Yves Delhamo, the director of Grevin Museum, remarked that the figure has a tense and anguished face and described it as a frozen statue that doesn't live. The lack of a direct meeting with Macron for facial scanning meant that sculptors had to rely on photographs, resulting in a waxwork that has been widely ridiculed online. The Grevin Museum, akin to the famous Madame Tussauds, is a popular tourist destination that features wax figures of numerous celebrities and historical figures. It sees hundreds of thousands of visitors each year, drawn to the lifelike representations of public figures. However, the theft of Macron's figure has shifted the conversation from mere aesthetics to pressing political issues. The protest comes at a time when France has been criticized for its dual approach to the conflict in Ukraine. While Macron has been a vocal supporter of Ukraine, advocating for military aid and sanctions against Russia, French companies have continued to engage in business with Russian firms. This has led to accusations of hypocrisy, as France's imports from Russia have reportedly generated substantial revenue for the Kremlin, even amidst international sanctions. Analysis has shown that since the onset of the war in Ukraine, Russia has amassed over 883 billion euros from fossil fuel exports, with a significant portion coming from the European Union. France, in particular, has contributed to this figure, with reports indicating that 17.9 billion euros of Russian fossil fuel revenue has originated from French imports. As tensions escalate, Macron has warned of further sanctions against Russia if it does not cooperate in peace negotiations. This backdrop of conflict and economic interdependence sets the stage for public outcry, as activists like those from Greenpeace highlight the contradictions in governmental policies. The wax figure theft and subsequent protest are emblematic of a growing movement among environmental and political activists who are demanding accountability from leaders. They argue that actions must align with words, particularly in matters as grave as international conflict and environmental sustainability. As the situation develops, it remains to be seen how the French government will respond to both the protest and the broader implications of its trade relationships with Russia. The stolen wax figure has become a symbol of the ongoing struggle for political integrity in the face of economic interests, and it could spur further activism as citizens demand change. In conclusion, the theft of the Macron wax figure by Greenpeace activists serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of political leadership in times of crisis. It raises critical questions about the responsibilities of world leaders to their constituents and the ethical implications of international trade during conflict. As the world watches, the actions taken in the coming days and weeks will undoubtedly shape the narrative of France's role in the ongoing war in Ukraine and its relations with Russia. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.